Hello everyone and welcome. In the previous video, we discussed the core components behind Agentic AI systems, tools, orchestration, and state. We also went through the customer support use case. So if you have not watched that video yet, I highly recommend starting there first because this video continues directly from that foundation. As we discussed in that customer support example, the system may need to understand previous cases before deciding the priority, and also it needs to route to the correct team. Maybe it's a issue with the network team, route to the network team. If there's an issue with payments team, it needs to route to that payments team. And before that, sometimes it needs to take human approval before creating the ticket. And also while it executing that end-to-end workflow, if something goes wrong, if some step is failed, it needs to recover from that particular step, not from the scratch. So this is exactly the kind of end-to-end workflow LangGraph is designed to support. Let's understand what LangGraph is saying in their official documents. LangGraph is described as a low-level orchestration framework and runtime for long-running stateful agents. Let's break that down using what we already know. The first one is low-level. Low-level means LangGraph gives us granular control, like we can control how data moves, what gets passed between the steps, and how the workflow is structured. That means we can control at a low-level details. Next one is orchestration. So we already discussed about orchestration in the previous video as well. Orchestration is the part that guides the system. It decides what steps should be executed, in which order the steps should be executed, and how the workflows move from one stage to another stage. So as mentioned, it will guide the system to follow certain steps. And the next one is framework. Framework means it gives us the building blocks to implement these end-to-end steps. If you look at the runtime, runtime means there is an execution engine under the hood. So LangGraph is not just about drawing boxes and arrows and creating a flowcharts. It has a runtime that actually executes the workflow step by step. LangGraph uses something called Pregel inspired runtime. For now, just keep it as simple that runtime is simply the engine that runs the logic. If you want to go deeper into the Pregel and runtime internals, I will create a separate and dedicated video for that. Now let's understand what is long running. So if you look at some workflows can finish in seconds. Some workflows may need to take a pause, wait for input, and continue later. So LangGraph is built to support those long running workflows. The next one is stateful. So stateful means the system keeps track of what it knows. It does not actually forget everything after one step. It maintains the state across the workflow so that that state can be passed between the steps. And the last one is agents. And agents, as we discussed earlier, these are dynamic systems. Unlike fixed deterministic flows, agents can actually decide their next step based on the context, reasoning, and tools usage. So let's pack everything together. LangGraph is a low-level orchestration framework and runtime for running long-running stateful agent workflows. Now that we understand the definition, let us move to the three core concepts in LangGraph: state, nodes, and edges. If you're already familiar with the graph or data structure basics, these terms may already sound familiar with you. But here they have a very practical meaning. State means what the system knows right now. Nodes are the units of work. Edges are the rules that decide what happens next. So in plain English, state is the current situation, node actually do the work, edges decide where the system goes next. Now one important point, LangGraph is not just a way to draw a flowchart. It also has a runtime underneath. That runtime executes work step by step and decides what runs, performs the work, and updates the shared state for the next step. And that is what makes LangGraph more than just a diagram. It is an execution system for stateful workflows. In the next video, we will go in detail about what's the difference between workflow and agent. See you in the next video.